pleasure to be introducing nominator Elizabeth Morales this evening. I spent all afternoon studying the biography of someone else and realized my mistake about 5 minutes before meeting Elizabeth, but she brought me up to date. She was born and raised in Compton. She's going to nominate Jason Lee Morgan, introduce Jason Lee Morgan this evening. She's currently a senior at Cal State Fullerton, majoring in psychology. And her younger sister is also here, who's at Cal State Fullerton, majoring in psychology and working for Mr. Morgan through the AVID program. Did I get that right? All right, good. Elizabeth told me that she was always motivated to try to go to college and get a degree because she knew that she needed to get ahead, but it wasn't until she met Mr. Morgan that she actually developed a love of learning, and that she also realized the actual possibility of going to college in terms of where the funding might come from, and he helped her get the scholarship. So without further ado, here's Elizabeth Morales.
Thank God for Google Docs. 1 second. I too would like to thank the Carlston Family Foundation for today because where I'm from, I don't get treated as lavishly as I did today. This whole weekend. With that said, I want to start my speech by giving you guys a piece of Mr. Morgan's, one of Mr. Morgan's Facebook posts. It's dated June 6, 2013. All right, here it goes. One of my seniors' father just gave me a long, huge hug. With tears in his eyes, he said, "Thank you so much for taking care of my daughter, for being a teacher who cares. I appreciate you." That is the most touched I have been by my parent in my entire career. His daughter will be graduating top 5 in her class. That was my father, and that daughter. Thank you. Just to put things into perspective, my dad doesn't cry, especially not in front of people. I actually never thought my dad cared about my education until after I found out that he did this. I talked about Mr. Morgan on a daily basis. I think people got tired of how much I mentioned him every day, but I wanted to show him off. I wanted to know I wanted people to know how lucky I was to have him as a teacher. He was the first teacher that actually showed interest in my education life and in my personal life. Mr. Morgan, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the summer of 2012 when I had a mental breakdown and I texted you. You gave me a voice by allowing me to vent. Thank you for being that concerned father in 2013 when my prom date was walking me to class and you told me that boys were no good. I listened. Thank you for making me feel like I was worthy. I'm grateful for you. You kept me happy, healthy, and sane. Congratulations to you and Jenny on your new baby boy. He's so beautiful. With this award, you're officially an Outstanding Teacher of America, but to me, you would always be the Outstanding Teacher of the world. This is for you.
A plate. That's what I came here for. We'll go up a little higher. Good evening, everyone. She stole part of my speech. I was going to tell that story about your father. That was a painful hug.
I know you have back problems.
Yes, it may have started then. But yeah, that was one of the most meaningful experiences in my teaching career, having a father just showed me that much love for his daughter, and he just kept repeating it. Thank you for taking care of my daughter. Thank you for taking care of my daughter. I had never seen, it reminded me of my dad. I never saw my dad cry, and I'm like, he's one of those dads. And that always stuck with me, and that actually really made me cherish the teaching profession, that we get to take care of sons and daughters like they were our own children. And so I didn't think I was going to like tear up, but I started tearing up, and I'll cry a bit later. It's just been, it has been a very, very blessed time. I just always repeat, it's the grace of God. You try so hard. You guys know as teachers, we try so hard to help reach our kids. We learn all these different strategies, and we get excited about our lessons. I'm like, all right, this is going to work. And it's just like nobody cares about it. I'm like, I spent all this time. I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning. I slept 30 minutes, you guys. Let's do this. Like, Mr. Morgan, that's boring. Why are you doing it? And I'm like, man. So you try so much, and you just never know. It's hit or miss, and all we do is plant the seeds, and hopefully something grows out of it, and it produces fruit. And sometimes that fruit is way down the line, but you got to keep on plowing. You got to keep on planting and watering, just with that faith that the grace of God is going to somehow flourish it. And seeing Elizabeth now, and even when she graduated, and she called me, and she was working. I think you were in the freezer somewhere crying, saying, I got to change my life. Wingstop. I was like, we got to get you out of there. And now seeing her graduate from college, it just is great to see the fruit way down the line, and I'm just so thankful. And lastly, my whole family's here. My dad. My dad set a great example of work ethic. He is the hardest working lazy man on the face of this planet. He taught me how to push through even though you don't feel like it. And he surprised me. He was supposed to be running a marathon, and he came here instead. He said he ran up. And my beautiful mom over there, just so thankful. She kept so many books and all this enrichment. I said, I want to learn magic. She got me a magic box. I want a robot for the bathtub. And she got me a little robot kit. She let me stay in the library until it was closing. Just so much enrichment. And it's not anything that I did. She provided that for me in that home. Thank you, Mom. And my sister, who was my first student, tutoring her in math. I'm a math teacher, and that is where I learned that I was a terrible teacher. I learned that I need to really work at this because of my sister. And then patience. She actually taught me patience, and we got so heated in those discussions. And now I try to teach my niece, her daughter, Barbara, try to teach her coding. And now she's like, they teach coding in elementary now, so I don't need to do what you were telling me to do. But I was patient, and I let it slide because I learned it from her mom. And then my brother, my best man, he just got engaged, and he invited me to be his best man. And I sit down at home, and I'm just like, man, I'm very blessed and getting to see my brother get married finally. And he said, just go up there and be organic. So this is what you get, organic. I'm going too long. And my son over there, he's been sleeping, being really good. So I'm proud of him. Quiet down, you guys are too loud. And just thinking about being able to train him as a young man, and I am super thankful for all my students. I got to practice on thousands of kids so that I could help him out. Made all my mistakes. I'll probably make some more. And then lastly, my beautiful, beautiful wife, Jenny Marie Morgan. Talk about the grace of God. She said yes. I never thought I was going to be married. The doctor told us that we wouldn't be able to have children naturally, and that's proof that he was wrong. Grace of God. And she is my #1 fan. I told no one about this. My students are going to be very mad that I didn't mention it, but she is my #1 fan and let everyone know. And literally, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here. Like, she coordinated all our trips and everybody's hotels and with Tim. And Tim would email me, and she was like, why is he emailing you? He needs to email me. I'm like, I'm just forwarded to you, babe. You got this. She makes sure I eat. Like, I would go the whole day without eating if she didn't feed me. So my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, love of my life. I love you. Thank you. And thank you, everybody.